Welcome to you to the YouTube channel Bhanja. This video is about the predicate phrase. At first we should know rule number 1. What is predicate? The part of a sentence that tells us something about the subject is known as a predicate. What is predicate? The part of a sentence that tells us something about the subject is predicate. And here are two examples. The first example is my father is writing letters. Is writing letters. It is known as predicate or a predicate phrase. Second example, my father ran. And here ran, that was the underlined word, and it is also known as a predicate or a predicate phrase. Let's proceed about rule number 2. Rule number 2, that is types of predicate phrase. Types of predicate phrase: intransitive and transitive. Rule number 3, what is intransitive predicate phrase? The predicate phrase that takes no object is an intransitive predicate phrase. That is predicate phrase without any object, that is known as an intransitive predicate phrase. And the example is my father or my mother. My father or my mother came here yesterday. What is intransitive predicate phrase? The predicate phrase that takes no object is known as an intransitive predicate phrase. Example, my mother came here yesterday. And here, came here yesterday is the predicate phrase. And it takes no object. As it takes no object, so it is known as an intransitive predicate phrase. And how to know that there is no object? Because to know the answer, at first simply we'll have to ask what or no. To know the object, we should ask what or whom to the verb. And if answer comes, that is an object. And if there is no answer, that means there is no object. Here, my mother came here yesterday. We should ask, what did my mother come here yesterday? There is no answer. And if we ask, whom did my mother come here yesterday? There is no answer. So, came here yesterday is an intransitive predicate phrase. Number 4. What is transitive predicate phrase? The predicate phrase that takes object or objects, that is known as a transitive predicate phrase. And the example is, my mother wrote letters yesterday. And this one. And wrote letters yesterday, it is the transitive predicate phrase. Because if we ask what, that means what did my mother write yesterday? And the answer that comes out, and that is letters. So it is a transitive predicate phrase because it takes object. Rule number 5. Patterns of intransitive predicate phrase. Intransitive predicate phrase has 4 patterns. And what are the 4 patterns of intransitive predicate phrase? Let's discuss about them one by one. The first one, that is known as VG. VG means verb group. Example, he ran. And here ran is the VG. Ran is the VG. And the second one, that is known as VG plus urgent. Example, he ran yesterday. And ran yesterday is the VG and yesterday is the urgent. So ran yesterday it is, and ran yesterday is the predicate phrase, and it takes the pattern VG plus urgent. Pattern number 3, and that is VG plus complement. Example, he is a teacher, and a teacher is the complement, and is a teacher, and it is known as VG plus complement. Another example, he looks tired. Looks tired, that means looks is VG and tired is the complement. But so far as the notaben is concerned, we should remember it clearly. Be verbs and link verbs such as become, seem, appear, grow, look, smell, feel, taste, etc. Take complements. In other words, we can say that immediate after or after the link verbs and be verbs, complements are used. Intransitive predicate phrase has 4 patterns. Pattern number 1, BG. Pattern number 2, BG plus urgent. Pattern number 3, BG plus complement. The question arises, what the words are used after, or what the words are used as complements. We can use adjectives as complements. We can use adverbs as complements. And also side by side, we can use noun phrases, adjective phrases, preposition phrases, adverb phrases as complements. Pattern number 4 of intransitive predicate phrase, and that is BG plus complement plus adjunct. Example, Virat was the captain 1 year ago, and was here is used as the BG, and the captain, that is known as complement. 1 year ago, it is the adjunct. Give a quick look at the patterns of intransitive predicate phrase. 4 types: BG, second one BG plus adjunct, third one BG plus complement, and the fourth one BG plus complement plus adjunct. The intransitive predicate phrase has 4 patterns, but the transitive predicate phrase has 6 patterns. What are the 6 patterns of transitive predicate phrase? Number 1, that is known as BG plus object. Example, I ate biscuits. Ate biscuits, it is the transitive predicate phrase, and ate is the BG and biscuits is used as the object. Number 2, BG plus object plus adjunct. Example, I ate biscuits yesterday. Ate verb, biscuits object, yesterday is the adjunct. And then pattern number 3 of transitive predicate phrase, and it is BG plus object plus object. That means in this pattern we can find there are more than one objects. Now a question arises, which object is used first? If there are more than one objects in sentences, generally the indirect object comes first and then the direct object. And how to know the indirect object? If we ask whom to the verb, if we ask who or whom to the verb, the answer that comes, and that is known as indirect object. On the other hand, if we ask what to the verb, the answer that comes, and that is known as direct object. Pattern number 3, BG plus object plus object. Example, he gave me biscuits. And here, gave me biscuits is the transitive predicate phrase, and gave is the BG, and me is the intransitive object, and biscuits is the gave me biscuits, and gave me biscuits is the transitive predicate phrase. Gave is BG, me is indirect object, and biscuits direct object. Notably, if there are more than one objects, the indirect object comes first, then the direct object. Now, pattern number 4 of a transitive predicate phrase, and it is BG plus object plus object plus adjunct. He gave me biscuits yesterday. Gave BG, me object, biscuits object, yesterday adjunct. In B, we can use the direct object first using the preposition to or for. Perhaps the example is he gave me biscuits yesterday, and if we put the direct object first, and we shall have to take the help of to, the answer will be he gave biscuits to me yesterday. He bought me books, and if we put the direct object first, and its answer will be he bought books for me. Pattern number 5 is VG plus object plus complement. It is pattern number 5. And example is the driver kept the car in the garage. Kept the car in the garage. It is the transitive predicate phrase. The driver kept the car in the garage. And kept the car in the garage is the predicate phrase. Kept VG, the car object in the garage complement. Number 6, VG plus object plus complement plus urgent. The driver kept the car in the garage yesterday. It is the example. And yesterday is used as an urgent. As this video is quite useful to you, please like, share and comment it. Do not forget to subscribe my channel if you are new.